This is Vijay and today I'm going to discuss about the topic DNA fingerprint, which is very interesting chapter. So in this topic we'll cover its introduction, history and procedure, that how we proceed a DNA fingerprinting. So first of all, जानते हैं DNA fingerprinting होता क्या है? So DNA fingerprinting is a method used to identify an individual from a sample of DNA by looking at unique pattern in their DNA. Means every person had the unique pattern. Every person has unique pattern in their DNA composition, and based on their difference, their variation, we can differentiate two person or identify person. Okay. It is also called as DNA profiling or DNA restriction analysis, and its whole detail we'll know after some time. The first one thing, another thing is biometric. The biometric is something different from DNA fingerprinting, just because in biometric, as we have many edges in our thumbs, finger, so on the basis of their edges which is present in our thumb, they generate some electric signal in the form of 1 or 0. You can see in the picture that I had. Okay, so on the basis of edge they identify the person, but there is no any involvement of DNA material. Okay, but in DNA fingerprinting the whole concept is based on the DNA sequence. Okay, this is the general difference between the general fingerprinting of biometric and the DNA fingerprinting. Now it was invented in 1984 by Professor Sir Alex Jeffrey. Okay, in India the father of DNA fingerprinting is Dr. Lalji Singh. If we'll talk about its history, in early 90s, Professor Alex Jeffrey, he realized that there's some variation in human DNA by means of which we can identify animals, human and other things. Okay, and that particular sequence by means of which we can identify the variation between the persons, this is called as mini satellite, which is a non-coding sequence. Okay, so now let's talk about its concept, that what is satellite DNA on the basis of which we can identify the person. So first of all, I would like to introduce that every individual have a unique genetic makeup. Okay, and that unique genetic makeup is called as DNA fingerprint. Okay, here not anything that we say there's some involvement of fingers. No, this is something different. Okay, so now let's talk about its chromosomal structure. So chromosome is made up of chromatid, and chromatid is made up of chromatin material, and chromatin material is made up of solenoid fiber, and then nucleosome, then DNA and gene. Okay, if we'll talk about DNA has a long sequence of nucleotide. Okay, that is nucleotide sequence. This nucleotide sequence on the basis of variation is defined, is categorized in two categories. The first one is bulk DNA. In bulk DNA, if we'll talk about the bulk DNA, as we know, the 99.9% of total nucleotide sequence is same among the person, and this is called as bulk DNA, which is same among all the person. Whereas in satellite DNA, which is only about 0.1%, it varies between person to person. Okay, so this is satellite DNA. Okay, on the basis of which we can identify the person. Now further, the satellite DNA, which is also called as repetitive DNA, means there's some sequence which frequently repeated. Okay, so that is why it is called as repetitive DNA. It is further classified into two categories, that is mini satellite and microsatellite. It is based on the concentration of AT and GC. Okay, it's means its density. On the basis of density and repetition of the sequence, it is classified into two categories. If we'll talk about mini satellite, the mini satellite are the sequence in which the base pair can be of 20 to 100 base pairs. Okay, 20 to 100 base pair can be present in mini satellite, whereas in micro satellite only 6 to 10 base pair is present. If we'll talk about the example in mini satellite, the most common example is VNTR, means variable number tandem repeat, which is of 20 to 100 base pair. Whereas an example of microsatellite, that is STR, means short tandem repeat. What is short tandem repeat? Means short means very small and tandem means sequence. Okay, very small sequence will be repeated. As we can see, it has only 2 to 6 base pair. Okay, so that is why it is called as STR, and it is categorized under the microsatellite. Okay, and its example we can say like Tata, means TA sequence. It is a dinucleotide sequence, and another example is trinucleotide sequence. These are all about microsatellite and mini satellite. Now, as I told you earlier, VNTR repeats several times to about, and it has 2200 base pair. It was first studied by the VNTR was first studied by A. Wyman and R. White in 1980s, and he found that the probability that two person having the same VNTR is 1 in 300 million, which is very poor ratio. Okay, so that is why we can frequently use this DNA fingerprinting for identifying and differentiating the person. Okay, now as we know, VNTR is the basic, so whole concept of DNA fingerprinting is based on the VNTR. So we have to understand what is VNTR. The VNTR means there is an example in the picture. We can see the picture one is there is a man and another is a woman. If we'll talk about example, you can easily understand about the VNTR. Like if we'll talk about man, in chromosome 1, that is C1, has VNTR9, means there is some sequence, there is a particular sequence which repeated 9 times in chromosome 1. Okay, so that is why VNTR9 in chromosome 1. Whereas in female, the VNTR repeated means the sequence which is also present in the man, that is the sequence which is present in the woman, but its repetition is vary. As we can see in the picture, it has 12 times repeated in the woman, in the case of woman, and that is why, as we can see here, the repetition is varies. It is not necessary that the sequence will be vary. The sequence can be same, but the repetition will be vary, and that is why it is called as variable number tandem repeat. And like that only, the chromosome 2 have VNTR13 in case of man, and VNTR2 and in chromosome 2 VNTR10 in case of woman. This is the same example. Here we can understand, I hope. Now let's talk about the stages involved in the DNA profiling. Okay, so first step of this DNA profiling is isolation of DNA. Okay, then DNA amplification. As we know, the sample generally the sample are very small amounts, so for that purpose we have to amplify the DNA by means of PCR, polymerase chain reaction. We can amplify the concentration of that particular sequence, so that we can easily find out the fingerprint means what are the particular sequence which is found in that particular person. Okay, now DNA fragmentation, then gel electrophoresis, then Southern blotting, hybridization, and photography. We'll discuss one by one. So for the isolation of DNA, we have first of all collect the sample. Sample can be of blood, skin, hair, or tissue. As we know, if you'll see in the movie or real life, if there is some cases of accident or spot dead, there must be a chalk boundary. Okay, chalk for confining that particular area where the dead body were found. Why this chalk? Okay, so because if somebody comes for the inspection, for the inspection from the forensic science, they will try to find some clues inside the confining area, which can be hair, blood, skin, tissue, that can be of criminal which do this crime. Okay, for that purpose only they confine that a particular area by means of chalk. After taking the sample, we extract the DNA from the sample. Okay, and in the extraction of DNA there is normally 3 steps. First of all, we lysing the cell, then capturing and clearing of DNA, and elution of DNA means it come out from the solution, that is called as elution of DNA, and finally we get the DNA. After getting the DNA sequence, we go for the restriction digestion of DNA, means cutting of DNA into smaller molecule by mixing the DNA with restriction enzyme. Okay, there is some restriction enzyme that is called as endonuclease. Here in the picture we can see there is an example, HindIII. Okay, HindIII is an endonuclease enzyme which cut the DNA, and here we can see it is very specified. Just because it is very specified, guys, sorry for the interruption. So where we I'll talk about I was talking about HindIII. So it is an endonuclease enzyme which cut at a specific position that we can see in the picture, that is between A and A at both the side, and after cutting it get break down into a smaller segment. Okay, and this restriction enzymes is depend on the temperature, NaCl concentration, MgCl2 concentration, and the pH of the media in which we dissolve this endonuclease enzyme. Okay, and here after cutting we get RFLP. RFLP means restriction fragment length polymorphism. As we can see, if there is some digestion of sequences, they will be cut into different length. Okay, different length. So that is why here we called it as RFLP, restriction fragment length polymorphism. Okay, their length will be vary, which some segment can be smaller, some segment can be larger than smaller. Okay, so that is why we called it as RFLP. After getting the RFLP, we go for the agarose gel electrophoresis. In agarose gel electrophoresis, we perform for the separation of digested fragment by their size. Okay, by their size for the visualization of the bands. Okay, so as we can see in the picture, you can see it is a gel electrophoresis device. Okay, in this we can see in the mid portion, that is sky blue in color, it is agarose gel. Okay, it is agarose gel, and there is 4 wells inside. There is a 4 wells on the agarose gel, by means of which we add the drop of fragmented digested sequences. Okay, after adding the drop of sequence solution, we start that gel electrophoresis by means of electric current. After generating the electric current, the smaller fragment will more faster than the larger one. Okay, and by this means the segments can be separated. Okay, by means of their density. As we know, the smaller segment will move faster and the larger segment will move slower. So after from this we can get the separated sequence. Okay, so it was the agarose gel electrophoresis. After electrophoresis, we go for the Southern blotting. The mean of Southern blotting is to transfer of DNA segment from agarose gel to nylon cellulose paper. It called as Southern blotting. Its name is Southern just because the scientist who invented this Southern blotting his name is southern. Okay, so that is why we called it as southern blotting. And if there is RNA, so that time we will call it as western blotting. It is the simple process of transferring the DNA segments from agarose gel to nylon paper. Okay, as we know, why we transferring the DNA sequence from agarose gel to nylon paper? Just because the agarose gel, which is very fragile in nature, okay, which is very fragile in nature, they can break if we'll handling with this gel. So for that purpose, we transfer that sequence from gel to nylon paper. Okay, and during transfer of DNA sequence, they get converted from double standard to single standard, just because during the passing they have to face a alkaline media. Okay, an alkaline media which can be of NaCl. What kind of the alkaline media? Okay, so during passing this alkaline media, they get converted into the single standard, and that single standard segments get attached to the nylon paper. Okay, just because there is some load, when we put a nylon paper over the agarose gel and then put some load, and by capillary action and by pressure, the segment get attached to the nylon paper. After southern blotting, we will go for the hybridization. Why we need hybridization? Just because, as we know, the single stranded DNA fragments get attached to the nylon paper, we get the strands. Okay, after that we add some probe. What is probe? It is also a single stranded DNA which having some radioactive element in the segment. Okay, so that is why it is called as probe, but it is also a DNA segment. Okay, which is complementary to the DNA segment which is attached to the nylon paper. Okay, and when we take that nylon paper which was having the single stranded small segments of DNA, put into the solution of probe. Okay, put into the solution of probe, the probes get gradually attached to their complement segment. Okay, their complement segment, as we can see here from the picture, we can understand. First step is transfer of DNA segment from agarose gel to paper, and then we can see here there is a solution, okay, which having the probe. After dipping that paper, we get the double stranded DNA, in which the one segment is probe and another is non-probe. Okay, in the diagram we can see. So this is called as hybridization. After hybridization, we go for the X-ray photography. When after hybridization we get that double stranded DNA which was radio labeled, when we put it behind the X-ray film. Okay, X-ray film, when we put that nylon paper, okay, hybridized nylon paper behind the X-ray film, and after passing that X-ray, we can see there is a illumination. Why illumination? Just because we add some radio labeled element into the segment, and due to their illumination property, there is a appearance of many bands. Okay, and that band, as we can see in the diagram and picture, that band will show us what are the segment and what are the base pair present in the segment. Just because we know the according to density there will be separated. Okay, so some picture like this will be appear. After X-ray photography, we can document that DNA fingerprint and can be matched with the, if we'll talk about there is a parent. Okay, there is parent and child case. If we'll talk about the parent and child case, suppose we obtain some DNA fingerprints of child. Okay, and after obtaining that DNA fingerprint from child, we go for the DNA fingerprinting of parent. If their band will be at the same position, if their band band will be same position like in the diagram, will identify is the actual father or not. Okay, so this is some kind of application. Now how we represent a DNA report. Okay, DNA fingerprint report, as we can see in the picture. I'll take an example of fish that is called as B. barbulus. Okay, this is an migratory fish. Okay, and here we obtain the DNA fingerprint. Whenever we represent and express any report related to the DNA fingerprint, we have to mention some kinds of things like name of the species, what was the concentration of the agarose gel. As we can see in the diagram, there is a 2% agarose gel in this picture, and what is the voltage of that particular gel electrophoresis, that is 60 volt, and for how much time, 50 minutes. Okay, here L is for the leading strand and P is primer. Okay, for different primers we go for the DNA fingerprint, and we obtain this kind of DNA fingerprint. Primer 1 2 3 4, and leader strand that contains 100 base pair. Okay, that contains 100 base pair. We have to mention like this only. Now let's talk about its application. As I told you earlier, the forensic test have many application of this DNA fingerprinting. Paternity test. Okay, frequency of particular gene in the population which give rise to the biodiversity. Okay, diversity of the ecosystem, we can find out the diversity. Change in evolution and genetic drift, fish genetics. Okay, fish genetics means determination and conservation. So this kind of application are present for this DNA fingerprint. So thank you guys, I hope all of you can get the things that I want to deliver you.